it's Nemo and welcome to episode 9 of Wine, Sex and Chill. And clearly by this title we're about to shake a few tables. We're about to get hot and bothered. So grab your glass of wine, grab whatever you have, and let's just get right into this video. So by the title we're going to be talking about does size really matter, and specifically when it comes to your partner's penis. So on Insta stories I did a poll and asked you guys, does size really matter? And 64% of you said, but of course it does matter, while 36% of you were like, nah, it's never that serious. It's whatever, as long as I get what I'm getting, that's what I'm getting. So these were some of your responses. Excuse me. You go like diameter, aka circumference, does matter. I agree with that, and then I'll explain. The next comment was says yeah, Mr. D. Well, I don't want to speak. Haki. It's so true. Nanya, who wants to speak? The next comment was you are candid. Yes, plump maybe, I don't know, but I just said it. So even you like them thick, girls. Hey, you like them thick. Next comment was it matters, but skill matters too. I agree with that one. The last one was hell yes, I've dated teeny weenies and mega size. I was definitely happier with mega size. Their problem is they are aware of their appeal, so they often get cocky. Haha, no pun intended. We're talking about right? Yes, we are. I am going there. So for my answer, it's a yes and a no, and I will explain as we go further. So let's talk about like the key determinant when it comes to describing a man's penis is the size, and that's both the length and the width, you know, so how long you are or how wide you are, either goes. But if you're both, then easy, you can send me a DM. Just kidding. So let's first talk about length. Length is how long you are. There are two types of length people. That's the showers and growers. So showers are basically what you see is what you get. So when he pulls it out, that's the size you'll get. When he's 100% hard or flaccid, that's always the size you're going to get. And then there are growers. Growers, they'll pull it out, it's barely there, but then when they get hard, like it just unwraps and you're just like, okay, cool, going there. So you see, showers and growers when it comes to length. I'm not fussy when it comes to length because I have been with both ends. Guys who are big, long, like they're long, and guys who are short. And I've enjoyed both spectrums, but I'll give you 4 examples later on. So the next determinant is width. This is what people call the girth, like how thick you are, how wide you are. This is where it is at. This is king. And when I give you my 4 examples, you'll notice the trend. So how thick you are, how wide you are. So it doesn't matter if you're a shower or a grower. Like if the thickness is there, like yo, we can vibe, we can talk, we can have a conversation, you know. So let's get into my examples, my 4 examples. I'm not going to name them, I'm going to give them letters because I don't want to put people out there. So there'll be Mr. A, Mr. B, Mr. C, and Mr. D. So let's start with Mr. A. Mr. A was 2013 when I was just getting into things. We were seeing each other for a few months, and he's the one I like to call the one that got away. Like if he would call me now, I'd be like, hey, Sama, is that what you're doing? Yeah, I'm free. It's a Sunday, I have work to do, but it's okay, I'm free, I'm coming. Pun intended. So he is long and wide. So he's lengthy and girthy. I remember the first time we had sex, we're getting foreplay and he dropped his pants and I was just like, is this going to work? I'm not too sure you can fit. Like, I don't know. I started panicking. I'm like, then he goes like, no, don't worry. You got this. Hey, Jesus Christ. When he entered, I was just like, I could feel everything. Like, take me. Like, it's fine. If this is what it is, I'm done. It's over. I was just like, hey, wow, okay, cool. That was that. So yeah, you see Mr. A, lengthy and girthy. And then we have Mr. B. Mr. B was lengthy, but then thin. This was now in high school. So in high school, I was still very naive, very immature. So I thought this is how it's supposed to feel. So I'd never feel him widthwise. I'd feel him lengthwise. So fun fact: the space between your vagina and your cervix is about 9 inches long. Yes, it's about 9 inches long. So the guy was actually that long. So whenever we do certain positions, he'd poke my cervix and it becomes so uncomfortable. But then I used to think maybe this is how sex is supposed to feel, because me, I didn't know what sex was at that point. But he's not one of my faves. He's not one of my best. Is that one can be erased from my hit list. Then we come to Mr. C. Oh, Mr. C. Oh, Mr. C. Mr. C is short but girthy. Like, I think he's the thickest I've been with. Yes, he's the one who introduced me to sexual relationships. He's the one who knows my buttons. Like, he knows what buttons to push. And a bit of a TMI, but fun fact, he's the only one who can get me to squirt with what he does. Like, he's just, every time I'm with him, I squirt. And I'm just like, magic, it's magic. So as I said, he's short but girthy. I remember the first time we had sex, like, you know, when you're foreplay and you're feeling each other, and I was like, I couldn't feel anything. Like, is this going to work? But then, my God, hey, Jesus Christ, I was flipped, I was stunned, I was showed things to a point I was like, it's okay. I am never going to have this misconception again. I'm never going to judge a book by the cover. I'm just not. He's also the other person, the second person that if he calls me right now, I'll be like, yeah, I'm coming. So, yeah. Now we go to Mr. D. I don't even need to describe Mr. D. Mr. D is short and thin. Barely there. I could barely feel a thing the entire time. I had to fake an orgasm, I had to fake moan, I had to do everything. Like, it was such a task. Like, I immediately cut ties. I blocked his number, I blocked him on WhatsApp, I blocked him on Instagram, because it was just a waste of time. So as you can see the trend, long and girthy, oh yes. Short and girthy, ah, amen. Long and thin, short and thin and small, So you can see when it comes to the length, it doesn't matter. As long as you got the width, then hey, ooh, you know what you're doing. So now when it comes to long guys, like big guys, like guys who know that they have it, like they're blessed. The thing I don't like about them is that they become egotistic. Like, they have this whole ego, they become cocky, like yeah, I know I'm big. Any mama won't want this, I can give it to anybody, like, yeah, you know. I don't like that, no, cause you can be all cocky, you can be all egotistic, but then once we get into bed, you do nothing. You're just there because you already know you have it, you barely put in effort, like, you barely do anything, you're just there. I'm a god, have me. And we can't deal with that, no. And with short guys, the thing I love about them is that they know they're small, they know they're short, so they go the extra mile. Like, they go the extra mile to educate them, to educate themselves on styles, on how to do foreplay. So by the time you're getting into sex, you've come a number of times during foreplay, and you're just like, the sex is just, penetration is just for you. Me, I've come, I've had an orgasm, I've had an out of body experience, so it's fine. So, you know, they go the extra mile, they overcompensate. So in all honesty, I'd take a short girthy guy over a long guy. You get what I mean? Because the short guy, from the time you're making out to the time you're finishing, like, he's taken you through a journey, you've gone through a number of experiences, and you're just like, wow, like, this is amazing. Long guys, they just, to them, they think once they penetrate you, that's it. No, like, guys, please educate yourself. Like, read books, find ways to use your fingers, find ways to use your mouth, find ways to use your tongue. Like, there's so many different things you can play around with, and by the time you're having sex, your mama has enjoyed herself to a point she's like, you're just penetrating me for you to come, because me, I've had it all. So I've talked about the extremely long guys, I've talked about the extremely short guys, so now let's talk about the average guys, you know, just kawaii boys, you know, they're just there, they're not long, they're not short, and that's another group of people that that really confuse my being. So let's now talk about Mr. E. Now Mr. E is in between Mr. A and Mr. D. He's just an average length, he's just an average width. But each time I slept with this person, it was an experience. So Mr. E, as I said, is average. He's not long, he's not short, he's not wide, he's not thin. He's just average. But the thing with Mr. E is that he knows. He usually makes fun saying that I'm a small guy, no mob. But once we get into the act, it's usually like, after you're done, it's just like, that was a journey. Like, you guys have done everything. Like, you guys have Momerarwana. Like, you've been flipped around, you've been turned, you've been everything. So the average guys and the short guys are the type of people I would go with. Like, they're the type of guys, like, if there's a row of boys, if there was a row of men, over boys, if there was a row of boys and they just dropped their pants and they're all completely hard, I would pick the short and girthy and the average ones, because the lengthy ones, as I said, too much ego, you're too cocky. It's fine. I don't need that. So from average to short and girthy, that's where I am at. That's my kind of thing, you know. But yeah, like, today I've given you guys so much TMI. Like, I've just told you everything that I like when it comes to a man's private parts. And then, you know, it is what it is, guys. Like, I feel as though after I upload this video, I'm going to switch off my phones for a while so that I don't see the comments. But yeah, and then, oh yes, I have just remembered. Once I put up this poll, one of my friends messaged me on WhatsApp and goes like, "Come, I show you that size does matter." You see, like, that's the ego I do not like. We're boys, usually we're boys. But that's the ego I do not like, because what if in your head you think you're good, like, you know, I have the size, I'm long, I'm easy, I have no worries. But then once we do it and it sucks, you don't know I'm going to hold that against you, because you put yourself in that position. Like, you came and told people, me mkubwa, like, me I can do these things, you know. So guys, the ones that are long, like, just reduce your ego just a little bit. It's fine. After you've done the deed and I start praising you, that's when you can have an ego. But before that, nah, it's fine. We don't need your ego. We just don't. So yeah, that's my take on size when it comes to men, you know. As long as you're good in bed, as long as you can show me a few things, as long as afterwards I pass out immediately, then you do know you're good. You do know you have something going for you. So ladies and gents, let me know down in the comment section, does size really matter? Like, does it matter to you? Then your thoughts, like, what's your pick? For the ladies, like, what's your pick? Just tell me, it's fine. So it's either Mr. A, Mr. B, Mr. C, or Mr. D, or even Mr. E, the average guys, because me and the average guys can hang any single time. And dudes, like, tell us, for the long ones, why all the ego? Like, why? Just let us know. So yeah, I feel I'm getting flashed. So I will cut it off here. Next episode, which is going to be episode 10, is going to be about circumcised versus uncircumcised. I have happened to sleep with people who are circumcised and people who are uncircumcised, and that's what episode 10 is going to be. So leave your questions, if you have any questions for episode 10, on the comment section, and I'll be sure to answer them. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative. And yeah, I hope you enjoy how the episodes are coming along. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and leave down your suggestions. And I will talk to you in my next video. Have a good weekend. Bye.